Record. Hello.
Faisal, mute. So just mute for a second.
Well, I don't see you. Can you turn your video on? I don't see you at all. You're not showing up. You're not. Uh, okay, wait a second. Did you register yourself to attend, or did you use the link that Zoom sent you? Um, you didn't register yourself, did you?
So thanks for your patience. We're just getting Carol on the line here.
I resent you the link. It should be on top of your email from Zoom.
You get to witness the technical side of hosting these incredible events. Well, thank you everyone for tuning into this week's film, A State of Passion, Dr. Ghassan Abu Sitti, directed by Carol Mansour and Muna Khaldi, who will both be joining us shortly. This conversation is recorded, and so if you are not interested in potentially having your presence here recorded or shared through our social media or on our YouTube channel, feel free to leave the program at this time. Otherwise, we look forward to engaging all of your questions as we reflect back on this really powerful film. I believe the chat, Faisal will be turning the chat back on shortly if he hasn't already. So thank you for that reminder. So in this film, we witnessed we're reminded of there is Carol and Muna. Welcome to both of you. You can unmute when you get a chance so we can hear you. So happy to have you join us. We just finished watching your incredibly powerful film, A State of Passion, Dr. Ghassan Abu Sitti. Really honored that you have shared this film with us so that we can share it with our audience that extends all around the world.
I need to tend to something here, so why don't you take over?
Yeah, no problem.
So,
Kristen, good to see you again. Hi, Faisal.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you for hosting this.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here. That's part of what makes this so special, is that we can engage with you after the film. You know, your film reminds us of this total destruction of Gaza by the Israeli army during this genocide that has unfolded over the past 16 months, and the ways in which Palestinians have been dehumanized. It brings us really up close into that world through Dr. Ghassan Abu Sitti's work, his home life, outside of Gaza and both inside of Gaza when he's serving the people of Gaza in this horrific situation that has unfolded these past months. So I guess I just want to start by asking you, Carol and Muna, tell us how you came together to work together on this film, and why is it so important to share the details that you've shared with us in this film? Many of us have witnessed much of what you've shared in this film through independent news sources, through social media. Why is it important to share these details and all the materials that you've brought together, whether it's historical footage, photographs, family stories, the being in Gaza, being outside of Gaza? Why is it important to share that through film, specifically at this time?
Let me start by saying that the day 7th October, since 7th of October, both of us wanted to do something. And we were trying, what can we do? What can we do? I was reading articles, and then Ghassan was there,
Mhm.
and the story just unfolded very simply, very
I mean, honestly, Krista, it's a story that imposed itself. There wasn't so much as a decision. There was an aha moment.
Mhm.
No, we know Hassan, we have access to him. We have access to a witness on the ground. We're able to tell the story differently from just normal, like what you referred to, news reporting, like a
Mhm.
reportage, you know, so many like, but we wanted to tell the story not only factually. I mean, we are very factual, but
more
it's not
personal.
only so many died, so many were killed, so many limbs were amputated. We wanted to tell the world what it actually means to be under genocide, what it actually means to be targeted, to be killed as a population. And if you like, we used our friendship with Ghassan to access this, you know, different way of telling the same story, if you like, from a slightly different angle.
Sure. And I wonder if you could talk about how typical is Dr. Ghassan Abu Sitti's story. I know he's a physician. He has a particularly special role in being able to help people in these horrific times on the ground when he was there. But he also carries that extra burden of being Palestinian, of having a life outside and inside of Gaza. I wonder if you could just share, uh, you know, through him and also through both of you as filmmakers, what does it mean to be Palestinian as a lived experience and also as someone who is giving back to the community
We
and
need to look
connecting
at
with the
this
world?
on two levels. I think we need to look at this on two levels. His experience is quite typical of every health or medical professional, be it a first responder or a nurse or a paramedic or a doctor or a surgeon. It's very typical. The horror that they see, the horror, the helplessness that they may feel in a lot of cases, the sheer scale of the horror they have to deal with and process, the difficult decisions that they have to live through day in, day out, the relentless, you know, knowing that the effects on a person are way beyond the injury, the effect on their life and then the effect on the family and the community. So on that level, it's quite typical of what happens if you're a health worker in a situation like that. On another level, I think it's quite typical as well of being Palestinian. The urgency to do something, the feeling of helplessness, the anger, the need for a just solution. So in that sense, it's very typical. Now, not all of us are Palestinian medical doctors with highly specialized skills. So in that sense, it's not typical. But otherwise, on the connection level, I think it is quite, it resonates. I mean, we're not talking about somebody like from a different solar system or planet. This is why I think the film is able to reach people. He is not exceptional, and this is something that he says all the time. He's not exceptional. He's just a sample of what people have had to face and go through.
Carol, would you like to add anything?
I just feel very lucky, honestly, to be close to Ghassan, and that he was able to open up with us. So
Well, it sounds like you had a very special relationship and that he is as grateful to you both for allowing to tell not only his story, but the story of Palestine through this film.
actually, it's
You
when
know,
somebody asked me,
yeah,
it's the
go
story
ahead.
of Gaza. It's the story of Gaza through Ghassan Abu Sitta.
and more generally of Palestine. It's not, I mean, it's not unfortunately, it's not exceptional. It may be more extreme this time, but it's not an exceptional incident. And I think this is one of the things that we were keen would come out.
Mhm. You know, you've shared footage of, for example, just before October 7th, when Ghassan Abu Satti's wife, Dina, was visiting her family in Palestine, in Gaza. And of course, we all know, for those of us who, you know, bother to look at the full story here, that what's happening now did not begin October 7th, but this is a long history of dispossession and displacement and dehumanization of the Palestinian people. Your film touches not only on the reality before October 7th, but also delves into the distant past of the Nakba. And it also shows footage of Gaza, which is now part of the historical record. I wonder if both of you could talk about your roles as filmmakers in sharing not only the Palestinian story, but also that really important historical record of what Palestine has been. And of course, for all of us who dare to think of the future, what Palestine could be again.
You know, Krista, it was very difficult to find footage of Gaza before 7th of October.
That wasn't footage of other bombing or other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
War 2002, there's the war 2014. It was extremely difficult. If we didn't have the pictures of Dima, who was there one month before 7th of October, I don't know how we would have, you know, found footage of streets. We just wanted to show life in Gaza, you know, like the souks,
Sure.
We couldn't find. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's part of what is so hugely powerful, to see how almost in an instant, you know, what was even under occupation, under apartheid, which is what people in Gaza were experiencing, there was some semblance of normal life. Like you said, the markets, the roads, the schools, the universities, the hospitals and clinics, they were functioning, you know, even under occupation, even under apartheid. And then we witnessed like a light switch, the way this entire area and people's lives are completely turned upside down and destroyed. So it, you know, the photos are really powerful in showing that, you know, just looking at the backyard with the fruit trees and you know, the road, and just everything points to that light switch of change in history.
Family having a vacation.
Well, and certainly you very powerfully
Can you hear us?
displayed what people have witnessed even in these last months of, you know, what Dr. Ghassan tried to do to save people's lives, to operate on people even without the most basic necessities of the medical field. So certainly you got that across as his personal story, and that dilemma that he faced day in and day out of deciding who to treat and you know, whom to save, is really a heartbreaking reality. But yeah, I think the connection keeps coming in and out, so I apologize if I spoke over you. Go ahead. And I also want to apologize to our audience that unfortunately Faisal has not yet been able to chat. So as soon as we get that back on, you are able to put your questions in the Q&A. So feel free to do that, and hopefully he'll be back to re-enable the chat. I apologize for that. Go ahead, sorry.
We're trying to read the questions. I don't know if supposed to read, or you? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, no, it's fine. I usually wait a little to read the questions, but I can read a couple of them. I mean, of course, many people are asking how they can see this film or show the film. Of course, here at the Palestine Museum, we are happy to show this film again. I'm sure Faisal will be interested in doing that because of how powerful it is. We had a really large audience today, over 400 people, and many people are asking how we can show it again so that others can see it. So maybe you want to talk a little bit about the release of the film, where you're showing it, and who has access to it. That would be great.
Well, the film was released, the film was ready exactly 3 days before the Cairo International Film Festival. We were panicking and we were able to finish it. And the Cairo International Film Festival is a big festival, and it's a quite prestigious festival. So we were very happy to, launch the film from there. And we were also very happy to receive 3 prizes. So the film got nominated for Best Arab Film, Jury Award Documentary, another prize, Best Palestinian Film. So this actually launched the film. I know that festivals are more maybe targeted to a few people, it's not, but it's important for the film to go around festivals before, being launched online. And then we went to Jordan and we showed the film, and the audience the response was overwhelming, and also the film got an award. Then we showed it in Beirut, and it's now in the cinema. It's been released, and it was for 1 week, and now they extended another week, which is amazing because people usually don't go to cinemas to watch documentaries. We were in Dubai at the Real Palestine Film Festival, and it was screened twice, and it was full house. They screened it a 3rd time. So we're very happy with the response. We're going to Athens in a few days for a screening. Then we're going to Sardinia for a screening. Then we're going to Geneva at the Film International, Festival International.
FIFDH.
The Film des Droits de l'Homme, which is one of the biggest festivals on human rights. So the film is touring. So because we don't want only us to see the film, we know the story, we want the other people to watch it.
So right now we're working on our dissemination strategy, and it's a balance between festivals, organizations, smaller groups. We're building alliances with health worker organizations from all over the world. We're building alliances with some universities. We're building alliances wherever we feel that there will be an impact in terms of public opinion, in terms of lobbying, in terms of advocacy. We went after and received a small grant for an impact campaign. So we've recruited an impact producer to help us figure out how to, strategize an impact campaign around the film. You see, for us, it's a toss-up between festivals and all of that, live films.
Sure.
And this film as a tool. We tend to see this as a tool, not just as a film. So we're happy to have it placed in certain places where it would gain traction. But at the end of the day, we want this to be a tool for people to use, to show to other people, to raise awareness, to instigate, to motivate people to take action, each in their own capacity. I mean, from contributing to the Hassan Abu Sitta Children's Fund that is helping war-wounded children from Gaza and Lebanon, and offering residency trainings for doctors in Gaza, because they targeted every single specialist. So there are no pathologists in Gaza anymore. not having a pathologist means you cannot do diagnosis. I mean, it's very, very, to use Ghassan's word, diabolical.
I don't know if it's just me, but the connection keeps
to
breaking up. I don't know if it's my connection or your connection. So I'm just mentioning that in case, because I missed a little bit of what you just said, just the last piece of it. You said you want to get the film out and use it as a tool of awareness. And then I lost you temporarily, so I apologize.
Can you hear now?
Yeah, it's just a little choppy now and then. And I don't know, again, if that's just my connection or whether that's the
connection here is good.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Well,
I just saw that Sui Ang was watching the film. She's one of the attendees. Sui,
I want to send my respects to Sui.
I don't know how to thank you.
Yeah, when Faisal comes back, we
you,
could even
but,
bring her on. Of course, we showed the film Gaza Hospital a number of times where she served during the Sabra Shatila massacre, and and of course is, as she said in the film, a longtime friend of Dr. Ghassan Abu Sitti, and she is still there. And I apologize, I'm not sure what happened with Faisal, that he had to step out and wasn't able to turn the chat on. So I know that you can all use the Q&A for now to make your comments or ask your questions. I'll try my best to monitor that. It's unfortunate, but something must have come up that was urgent. So I'm just apologizing on his behalf. Otherwise, I would bring her on right now. I don't have, he didn't make me host, so I don't have that ability. So my apologies for the technology.
Let me call him.
Okay, so I'm just going through the chat. People are asking where we got the footage from. Just
Yes.
while she we bought the footage. The footage is from news agencies. And honestly, this entailed mostly Carol watching hours and hours of horror. And we've all seen a lot of we've all seen a lot of images, but we've tended to see them on a small screen on our phones, covered text or covered with graphics. Watching Carol watch like hours and hours and hours of raw horror. I don't know how she did it, but then many of the news agencies actually, when they knew what we were doing, were quite cooperative. They offered us,
a discount.
They offered they gave us their archive to pick and choose from. And to that, we're very grateful, because I think what happens now is when you see this footage without the commentary, just with the real sounds and feel, it's a different sensation. It's reality. No longer a small screen on your phone that you scroll over and through.
Krista, you need anything?
Oh, just the chat was not on. That's one thing.
Did you try?
And then if we want to bring on any panelists, as long as you're here, you can do that. But Sui Ang is in the audience.
Chat is on.
Maybe we could bring her on at some point. So yeah, the chat is now on. Thanks for your patience.
Who wants to be on?
Well, they were saying that maybe we could bring on Sui Ang, because she's actually in the audience. If she would like, if you would like to come on, Sui, please raise your hand. Yes, Carol, go ahead.
Somebody is asking Hala Sahyoun if we can organize a viewing for Mr. Trump. If you can do that, that would be amazing.
Also, others are asking if what impact you think this film would have if it were shown to Israelis. Of course, that's another thing that probably wouldn't happen, but
we're thinking of
about that.
Well,
Faisal, are you having
Can you
trouble
hear
hearing
me?
Carol and Muna? Because I
Um,
keep hearing it break up, and others are
say
saying the same
something,
thing.
Carol. Say something
I
so I can.
said we are thinking of translating and subtitling the film in Hebrew.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
If they want to see this, they would have seen it before. I mean, they don't want to hear anything about Gaza.
No, we want to send it to festivals to Tel Aviv.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
This shall-
Inshallah.
You're not gonna need Hebrew because if they're not the kind of gonna listen to this stuff. You know, they're
Yeah, unfortunately, the most recent poll said that only 3% of Israelis, 3 or 5%, think that that the response in Gaza has been I mean, they believe that it hasn't been strong enough and find no moral
they don't
qualm about
think
what is happening.
they killed enough children. They need to kill more children. They said it's horrible.
It is horrible.
Yeah.
So we can go back to some of the audience questions. It's quite a
Did
list.
Sui want to join? I was with Sui a couple of days ago in London.
Yeah, I know. That's incredible.
Oh,
She's
sweet.
actually coming. She's going to give a talk at the museum on March 4th.
Wonderful. So many people in the audience are asking about how to see the film again, and I know that when films
Well,
are really
I'm
powerful like
just
this, we
gonna
consider
tell
showing
them.
them again.
I'm just gonna tell them send emails to Carol.
We need to sit and talk.
You're gonna get
We
700 emails. I was talking with Carol about it, and I think that Carol wants to wait a while before we screen it again. So
Okay, sounds
unless
good.
they change their mind.
I mean, it's
Well,
what we were saying
we'll keep
about
you
the
posted
toss-up.
if you stay on our
Like, I mean, it's a toss-up between showing it, making it completely open, or and not forfeiting access to festivals that would give a different kind of traction. So we're trying to balance the two. I mean, you know how it works.
Of course.
Yeah, well, you were kind enough to let us screen it once, so for that we're very appreciative.
You're our friends.
Let's count our blessings. So
you
Yeah,
know
and the
that
audience is very appreciative to see it for sure.
where is Sui? I'm looking for
Tell us,
Sui.
Manu.
Sui, are you
So,
here?
well, she is on
well,
the
let me
attendee
bring
list.
Sui,
I
I'll
just checked
find it.
a few minutes ago.
Here's
So
Sui.
one
You
other
want me to
person
bring her
asked
on?
what the closing song was, and also there was a website for the film listed at the end. Is that just stateofpassion.com, or was it the actual film production company that you founded?
The song
I'd happy to
was
share that.
offered. Okay, so the song is called Hulm, HOLM, by Emel
Hulm, which
Mathlouthi,
means dream.
by Emel El Mathlouthi, who is
Amal,
El Mathlouthi. If you just put Hulm on YouTube, you'll find it. Emel is a Tunisian US singer. And when we contacted Emel and said, you know, this is what we're thinking, she actually offered the song for free. And like Emel sang at the what do you call them, the Nobel Prizes 2 years ago. So she's huge. But when she knew what we were doing, she offered the film for free,
The song,
and
yeah.
for which we're very, very grateful. The website
You're
for
breaking
the
up now.
film, maybe we can write it in the chat.
Yeah, it's better.
The website.
Okay, and the website, in 1 week it will be fully. We're still working on it. It's still here, but we still need
revamping.
We're revamping. Where can I type? Chat. Okay.
in the chat, and just make sure it's to everyone.
Host and panelists.
No, you want it to everyone.
Yeah, and I did put a link to that song in the chat for those of you who are interested. And early on, we talked about how Dr. Salman Abu Sitti is a relative of Dr. Ghassan Abu Sitti. And as you saw, not only was he in the film, but one of the Israeli soldiers was holding up his Atlas of Palestine, thumbing through it, which I thought was quite remarkable. But I'm going to also put a link to his Palestine Land Society that he where you can learn more about Salman Abu Sitti's work. Yes.
Allow me to interrupt you. That photo actually of the IOF soldier reading Palestine, that was in Dima's father's house.
Oh,
and
no way.
They saw it by mistake, like by chance, and it was very deliberate. Like the soldier had that
wow.
And underneath it, it said, the caption was reading science fiction. There's no such thing as Palestine. So for us, that photo as like a reference, but they actually went into their house after they had ransacked it before they blew it up. And the soldier took a photo of himself reading Salman's book in the Abu Madden house. I mean, knowing the connection, of course.
Oh,
and
my
posted
goodness.
it, calling it science fiction. That's the level of difficulty that we're talking about. I mean, who gives the President of the United States a pager?
I'm going to show you.
Yeah, no kidding.
The fiction here. Look, if you don't talk, so the camera will be on it. There you go. See, that's a map of Salman Abu Sitti that I'm holding in my hand. It has every single Palestinian village on it before it was renamed by the Israelis. Anybody from Palestine will find their village. And this is the kind of map we put on the floors of the exhibits we did in Venice and in London and in Ireland. People walk on it and find their villages and have their picture taken. Now it's available at the museum also.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Somebody asked for the link to the fund. Carol will. Can you just? It's the fund. www.
It's in
the fund.
gas.
Okay, can you write it? Okay, hi.
I don't know what it is.
Here, I can look it up and I'll put it. What is it?
Gas children gas fund. What is it?
I guess Sui doesn't want to come up on the panel. I've tried.
It's www.gascf.org.
We are going. We are in contact with the JVP. So everybody is saying, please. So we are in contact with them.
And is that, what about the funding of the film itself? Some of our audience was curious how you funded the film.
People like you. This film was totally funded.
Are you going to put your link for the donation again? Can you put it in the chat?
Yes, please. And it's important because we are hiring people to work on the distribution. Okay, it's forwardfilmproduction.com is our website, the company, the mother company. We're two, mother and father. And under you can go to contribution, and just if you can contribute, that would be amazing.
Krista, could you dig up the link from there?
Yeah, I'm going to repost them all. Just 1 second.
We're going to repost the link for your donation page. And
I just had it up.
Donate for Carol and Mona so that they'll have us do another screening. Let's make sure, let's show them that we can give them more money than they're going to get from everybody else.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Okay, so Jeanette Hartley is suggesting Doctors Against Genocide. We've reached out to them, but kind of on a generic email.
I
If you
know them. I know the people very well. I'll get
if
you
you
in
could
touch
send
with.
us a contact of somebody from there, it
I
would be
will.
amazing. I mean, we sent it to info@,
No,
but
no,
you
no.
know how things are.
I know the two people who started it very well, and they're friends of mine. I'll connect you with them. No problem.
Perfect.
They were
Yeah,
just
it's a really great
they were just in
organization.
Switzerland last week, so they should be back in Michigan by now.
Okay.
I can post that in case people want to look that up. It's a great organization to support as well.
And the
Let
person,
me go
his
back
name
to.
Nidal Jabbour is the one who really the head of it, and he started talking about genocide before the Gaza thing started. In fact, he was on one of our film screening post screening discussions, and he brought up the genocide idea and all that, and way before October 7th. So anyway,
Carol and Mona, one of the things that you addressed in this film is the media. You know, even though we have more access to information than ever before, it was Dr. Ghassan Abu Sitti who actually showed the British Parliament, for many of them, for the first time, they saw what was actually happening there. And then, of course, the effort by others to discredit him. I wonder if you could just talk about the role of film to get past these false narratives that are perpetuated, particularly among mainstream media, even before October 7th.
And our target is to show the film in the West. This is our main concern. What was your question, Krista?
Oh, just about the ways in which your film and film in general can push past these false narratives that are perpetuated even before October 7th about Palestine.
Krista, the footage is available for everyone, but they don't want to see. They just don't want to see. So, and actually, I'm not sure all videos. I know that in Canada, my cousins are there, and when I send her on Instagram something about Gaza, she says I cannot open. So they don't have access to it also.
I mean, I think if this war taught us anything, is that the mainstream media is not to be trusted as the source of information anymore. And this has been the power of like young people like Bisan Odi, who are reporting live and have thousands upon thousands of people following her. And like we're talking about the under 30s now, and the under 30s do not trust mainstream media, and they found an outlet in Instagram, in TikTok, in following people directly. And this is something we need to learn from. And I think this is why independent films will also resonate. People are seeking independent reports. And I think like at this time in history, it's important to have these independent viewpoints, narratives being shared, not that people know they're not under like the thumb of any funders or any colonial
this is what Faisal
powers.
was saying
So
before. Anyway, can I? Oops, my laptop is. Can I just? We can spend hours, but we're at a dinner, and they started eating.
Oh, okay.
And we're very hungry.
Oh dear. Okay.
I just want to make sure that, first of all, everybody is saying that where is it going to be seen? If people have ideas and have outlets to show the film, please contact us on www.forwardfilmproduction.com. and we will answer all your, we have tons of emails we are replying to, people wanting to show the films in theaters, at universities, and big, so we're starting to answer. So please, whoever wants to show the film, yalla.
And please, any questions that we weren't able to address now, some of them like need in-depth discussions, please reach out. You can reach out at, as Carol said, at www.forwardfilmproduction.com.
And if anybody is in Amsterdam, it's going to be in Amsterdam from the 9th to the 12th of October 2025. Thank you, Nihal.
Carol, there's like about 300-400 people who are registered that didn't see the film.
Very good. So they
We
can.
didn't see the
They want to see it here. So, but
Allah will work on something. Let
Okay.
us finish our tour, and definitely would love to work.
by the way, just a little information for you. It looks like we're going to open a branch of the museum in Edinburgh, Scotland. So
Oh, wonderful.
hopefully we'll be screening your film there in April or May.
And we will be there live.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Carol and Muna, so much for being with us
Thank
today,
you.
for sharing the film with us. We will all
Thank you,
share with
everybody.
our contacts how people can reach out to you and get your film in their communities, at their universities. Thank you again so much for being with us and for responding to our audience questions as well.
Thank you.
Faisal, can you
Thank
send us the chat and the whole thing after, please?
Yeah. Yes.
Just want
Yes.
to thank everybody who took all this time off from their Saturday after months and months and months of genocide to bear witness again and to, be there for the Palestinians, because it's not over. Thank you.
Sounds good.
It is
Thank
not
you.
over, that's for sure. And of course, this recording will be available on the Palestine Museum YouTube channel. I'll put that link in the chat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
bye.
Ma salama.
مع السلامة Krista. Thank you.
شكرا.
يعطيكم العافية.
يعطيك العافية أنت كمان.
Bye.
باي باي.
يلا سلامات باي.